Am I Big or Little? By Margaret Park Bridges, illustrated by Tracy Dockeray. Rise and shine, little one, time for big kids to wake up. Mummy, am I little or am I big? You're both, sweet pea. But how can I be big and little at the same time? Well, you're littler than I am, but I'm bigger than Kitty. Right, you're little enough to crawl under your bed, but I'm big enough to reach out and tickle you. You're little enough to ride piggyback to the stairs, but I'm big enough to hop all the way down. You're little enough to bury your face in Kitty's tummy, but I'm big enough to carry her like a baby. You're little enough to ride through the park in a stroller, but I'm big enough to make the pigeons fly away. You're little enough to stand on my feet while we dance, but I'm big enough to hold on tight when you spin me. You're little enough to want dessert all day long, but I'm big enough to wait for it. You're little enough to have a tea party under the kitchen table, but I'm big enough to serve my guests first. You're little enough to share your bath with a fleet of boats, but I'm big enough to be captain. You're little enough to jump on the bed, but I'm big enough to make it when I'm done. You're little enough to share a blanket with your animals, but I'm big enough to save them from the dark. You're little enough to pretend you can fly to the moon, but I'm big enough to find my way home. Well, I'm glad you're still little enough to sit in my lap. I'm glad that I'm big enough to wrap my arms around you. Yes, sweet pea, you're like a big present in a little box. A present for you, Mummy? Of course, just what I always wanted.